Sales numbers have been through the roof. We've been doing solid COVID numbers for at least the last 2 years. With everything going on, people are staying home and buying a lot of good stuff. So today we're going to look at what's selling for us right this very minute on eBay for some phenomenally huge profits. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk a little bit about sales and look at some of our items that we've been selling as of right this minute. Sales have been extremely hot on eBay. If you got the right items, you're going to be making some bank, some roll this time of year, right this very minute, especially with less people traveling. They're sticking at home. They're buying stuff online again. We're doing COVID numbers across the board and have been for at least the last 2+ years. Now, I know I haven't done anywhere near as many videos as I used to do. We're sitting in our almost completely remodeled building, 2-story. We've remodeled our house. A lot's been going on behind the scenes here. Probably have a tour. My office is done. We've moved in furniture in there. We have a huge second floor for storage, and a bunch of other stuff has been happening here. We've upgraded pretty much everything in here as well as in the house. So you will see more videos going forward. We've got a lot of new stuff going on. We've been sourcing like mad. It's probably been the best year ever in our lives for sourcing higher quality items like we're finding right now. Just across the board, so much stuff is out there to find right this very second. Sales are hot. We resell full-time and have for almost 30 years at this point, and any old school reseller like us knows exactly what I'm talking about with the right items and what's going on. COVID gave us our best numbers of our lives, and we are still rocking those very same numbers by sourcing the best possible stuff out there and some of the most unique, interesting, and historical items that we can find. And it has paid off for us for at least the last 20+ years. So without further ado, let's look at some of the items that have been making us some bank. Now, this is a tag. I think I did show this as well as several of the other Levi items that I have. Now, we listed them. I wasn't here when they were listed, but they sold within the hour, all of them. Now, this one had 3 other offers on it within that very first hour. No one here saw them. We were actually busy. It was later on in the day. Someone purchased it before anybody could even reply to the actual offers that came in for the full $195. I've got like 50 cents into this item as well as the next 2 I'm going to show you. We have a 4th Levi tag item here. It just needs to be cleaned up. I may have shown that one as well in a video, but this one's $195. Also sold this one, which is another tag, leather tag, and 2 tabs, belt loop tabs. Those belt loop tabs and this tag did sell for $235 to the very same person who spent the $195 on this one. So we're at, what would that be, $430 for these 2 items that I have $1 into total for the 2 of these. And then on top of it, I sold this. Now this is complete. It unfolds. There's actually a little flap here on the back. It goes around this way. And this is actually stitched onto or tagged into a brand new pair of Levi's jeans. Still to this day, there is something similar to this one on a pair of Levi jeans if you buy them in the store. This is original. It, is from that date. There was a tag with them, stating it. I think I have a receipt even. This one went for $150. Price-wise, I've seen them from $110 to $150. Now, this came from a $10 pickup. And we've sold, I think, all of the main stuff out of this purchase. This one did go for the $29.99. So I was pretty happy because this is like one of the last anything pieces out of that lot. We made a lot of money out of that $10 lot. We actually bought the lot because of Playmobil, if I remember right on this one. So for $10, I sold one item almost immediately. We've made like $300 off that $10 lot, and we haven't even sold all of the items yet. Fireworks. Now, I know I've shown these in a haul here. We've probably made at this point, close to $1,000 on these. Profit. I've only got a handful left. We had like 50 or 60 of these. I sold a bunch in the $75 range. Then we marked them down, I think, on a sale to $57, $54 range. Sold some more, and now they've just been marked down again, so they're down to $36.75, and we've been selling most all of them for $25. So we decided that $25 would be our bare bones bottom on these. So Every one we've sold lately has been at the 25 mark. Again, labels. Now, the person asked me if these all came together. We went back and forth. I told him I'd take a set price, and he took it. I want to say we sold them for like 30 bucks shipped. They all come from the same bottle from what I could figure out, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Again, all profit. 1 or 2 labels out of this purchase paid for everything, including my labor to get them up, mind you. This one came from a massive collection. I bought a whole bunch of Halloween stuff. This one sold for 190 bucks. Now, I've seen one that sold for some crazy amount. There's been other ones that have sold since I listed this one. So at that point, I researched the price, the offer that came in, the 190 offer, and it's right at the very top. This might be the current highest priced selling one of these as well. Swinging on a Star, $22 on this one here. I know the song. I can't remember where I got the song in my head from, but I remember the song. I know the song. I held tight on this one. I had some offers for like 12 bucks. I usually get a bunch of offers on these sorts of discs for pretty cheap, and I never sell one lower than $14.99 these days, ever. I will never sell a 78. In fact, my whole pricing structure is set up, even my discounts, so nothing ever goes below that number. This one's been up for a very long time, but I hold fast on stuff like this. This one sold for 65 bucks. Very nice image, and the same basic image is on the back. Tiger's the brand. Anything with the Tiger logo on it, I've sold. Even a ripped up piece of paper that just had the lion's head on it, I've sold for 12 bucks. Now, this one sold, I think, for $142 and some change. I had another one from this very same assortment. These two came from, I think, one of my button guys, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this is a micro mosaic, meaning there's little tiny pieces of glass that make up the entire horse. It's not a painted image on there. Every specific color you see on there is a little chunk of glass. You saw the other one sold for like $150. I may have a quarter or something into these. These are fairly cheap when I run into these sorts of things out in the wild. Again, more letterheads, $26 for this one. It had the envelope and the letterhead itself, as you can see. It's from an interesting location. Canal Zone collectors, there's a few of them, but not enough for me to hold out for long. So $26 I felt was a fair price, considering it was listed at $45. It was going to go on sale shortly, so I'm fine with that. Now, this one came with a bunch of them, too. I do believe it came from a sailor who was over there, and they actually went to this establishment. Now, this one came with a huge collection of Pennsylvania business cards, and I think I showed them out in the video. This one did sell for $29.99. Poro system. I have no idea what that is. Probably some sort of hair treatment, but anyway. Now, this one came from a sailor as well, and it might have come from the sailor from that Territory of Hawaii Rialto menu that we showed you earlier. I believe it came from the same one, but I'll date stuff by this. This one actually says Territory of Hawaii. That's what the TH stands for, if you didn't know. This one sold for, I want to say, $35 or $36. It's all profit again, and it's got the seal, the Hawaiian seal over there too. I have that same design on a button, and they go for a ton of money. Anything like this, if it has the seal model, stuff like that, I always list it for a good amount of change. Another fireworks, 25 bucks, obviously. This one did sell for $43.12, and this is a window decal. I showed you a bunch of window decals. We've probably, at the end of the day already, we've sold maybe 30% of the window decals. We've made over $1,000. These early 50s, 60s automotive-related decals are hot. They always go for good money. Always, 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 always. These are sorts of things that a car guy is going to want, hot rodder, somebody who just likes vintage car-related items. They don't even have to have a car. This is just a neat item. I don't find too many people who collect Auto Club stuff in general, so this is a little different. This is a decal. This one did go for 75 bucks. Now, this is the third one of these tickets I've sold probably in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Not exactly the same ticket, but just a airline ticket from the coast there. It might even be from the same basic company, but this is like the stub of the ticket, the numbers on the back. The company itself is fairly well known. Wilmington Catalina Airline. I've had brochures, anything Catalina Island that I run into, if it's $1 or less, I usually just buy it.
This one went for $22.50, and if you're paying attention, there's the Rialto. This is probably in Hawaii as well, but I couldn't say 100%. I don't always pay attention, again, as I said, where everything comes from. Now, this is an early one. If you don't know the dates and stuff like this, look them up on iBid. 1923, Gloria Swanson is why this one sold. Maybe I could have put a little more on it, but there aren't a ton of Gloria Swanson collectors out there anymore these days. Maybe 15 or 20 years ago, I could have sold this for more, but these days, the amount of collectors for the old-time actresses of the silent era just aren't there that much anymore. Now, this one did sell for the 95 bucks. I actually had somebody email me and told me that this card only goes for 10 or 12 bucks at best with envelope rate shipping. Otherwise, I'd never sell it. Obviously, at that point, I totally ignored the person because they didn't know what they were talking about. I've personally sold this one before, and I know it went for good money last time, so I just held out. It did sell for 95 this time, as I said as well. Came with a bunch of postcards. Anything dirigible, a blimp, Graf Zeppelin, anything like that, I always grab up. Especially a real photo postcard like this, and that is exactly what this is. Santa Claus, I don't know where we got this one. This one's been up for a few years. It did sell for the $40.25. With these, I just have to put them up and leave them and wait. With the amount of listings that we have up, I just don't pay any attention to individual items like I used to. It's just not worth my time or effort because, it just takes the right amount of time, the right person to be there for something to sell. Now, we don't blow out anything anymore either, too. That was another question I had not too long ago. I don't blow out anything. I will keep it running at the same price structure forever because things sell routinely. If I removed items or stopped selling this or didn't mess with that, I'd probably be losing out something. Because these items routinely sell for us. I don't care if they've been up for 10 years or 15 years. We've got so many items up that old items sell daily, every day. The majority of what we sell has been up for a long time. It just takes the right person to see almost anything for it to sell. Menus. I don't know how many menus we've sold throughout the years. Thousands, I would gather, at this point. This one sold for 50 bucks. It's a small one. It's like the size of a postcard. And it's from the USS Utah. It's from 1929, Strait of Bonifacio. Maybe that's Italy. I don't know where that even is. I'd have to go look it up. I'll give you one more inside hint here. Now, usually if this is like a government printed item, it'll say US and it may have some numbers like this. 7-3-29-2M. Well, it was printed in 1929. And it was printed July 3rd, if that helps at all there. This is a brochure, Sea Island, Georgia. I don't know. Is this a hotel or something? I guess. Is it patronized by carefully chosen privately owned homes? Oh, okay, Sea Island. So it's like a coastal community or something like that. We got $22 out of this. Most of the time when I'm getting brochures, I'm usually paying $1 or less. I almost never have to anymore pay more than that. Most people who look up prices on stuff like this, trying to decide on what to list, are lost. Because there's so many different brochures. You may not see another Sea Island, or you may see one and it doesn't look the same, so most people don't know what to do with that, or they're not sure on the age or the dates or anything. This is from that big doll purchase. We got $29.99 out of this one, plus shipping. It's just a rando one. It's from Italy, handcrafted, Kathy. Everything you need to list it is right here. You can easily tell the dating on it as well by the looks of the doll, the hair, the packaging, the whole works. So at this point, we've still only sold maybe 7 dolls, and we're fast approaching the $1,000 mark on this $350 pickup. And I haven't even listed the majority of them. I think we listed 42 dolls out of 250 that we purchased. And we've already made all of our money back. $1, if you were paying attention, was a Polish doll from around the time, a celluloid one too, that we got $500 for, $495. So that instantly made us a profit. So every dime you see coming in from a doll from this point forward, literally from a couple months ago, is all profit, less eBay fees, taxes, of course. But records. Now, I've probably sold heading towards 30 copies of In the Mood by Glenn Miller. We took $32.50, I want to say, was the end result on this one here. I've had many offers on this one for far less than that, down to, I want to say, 14 or 15 bucks. I don't care what somebody else sells a disc for anymore. The biggest factor, what I see in being able to sell a disc like this for years on end, pretty much every copy I've had, almost 30 of them, is that my feedback on records is extremely good. If you want to check out someone's feedback on what they sell, you can easily go to their feedback section. You can type in record or 78 or RPM or something in mine, and you can see just the records, just the feedback that had a item that had RPM or something like that in it, or Glenn Miller, whatever the case may be. And people do that. I've had people say, well, I checked out your feedback. It looks like you pack well, blah, blah, blah. People leave really good feedback on how we pack 78 records. Most people don't pack them the way we do. I spend a lot of extra time because I like the music. I like discs. I'm a sound-oriented person, if you haven't figured that out, with aphantasia and stuff like that. So for me, I really get into the music in general. So when I know the song, I've heard it many, many, many times. So another good example here. I don't know where this copy came from. They all look the same. I can't say specifically where I got this one from, but I buy 78 records all over the place. If I run into a lot that's good, I'm going to buy it. We've got tens of thousands of records right now in inventory that we haven't done anything with yet. Okay, now I purchased a whole bunch of vintage Coke items, Coca-Cola, and I've showed them. I've talked about them. I have a video on those, I do believe. This may have been shown in there. This sold for $38. And I paid, I think, $25 for all of it. We've already made a couple $100 profit, not counting this, as well as several other items that have sold since this one. So this is an excellent item. I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it. I can't tell you where it came from. Haven't a clue on it. I just purchased it a lot, and boom, here we are. Now, you know where the Star Trek stuff came from. This came from a thrift store from in their back room. This one did sell for the $29.99. It went to Canada or Sweden. I don't really remember which place this specific one went to, but it's a decent one. The photos could have been a lot better. With this being Star Trek, we just wanted to get it up. Star Trek usually sells. We've already made a ton of profit off the Star Trek lot, and we haven't sold the majority of it. We've only sold like maybe 30% of it, maybe not even that much, and we've already, made a ton of profit. Couple of $100 off of it already. Now this one came with a postcard lot as well. I do remember this one here. It's a 1913 Strawberry Festival. And I remember this one because there's a Strawberry Festival near where we used to live, and it just rung a bell with me. So, and this is the same size or thereabouts of a postcard. And this came with postcards from 1910. Somebody probably just shoved it together with the postcards, and it just sat in the estate for that long. It did sell for the $33.75. It wasn't up a super long time, but it's an oddball item. It's one of those sorts of items that it'll just take the right person. If they see it today, they'll buy it immediately. It's just something you're not going to run into very often. It's something I haven't seen before. Now, I showed this purchase, this haul. I don't remember at this point. You'd have to go back and watch the video, but this one did sell for the price you see it, I do believe. Mary McCarty and Bert Wheeler. I don't really know any of these, the folks in here at all. Not very well known in my group, I guess, but it's where it's from, El Rancho, Vegas, about the time when Mob was coming in there and the whole works. So, and this is all profit as well. This one came with a big bulk purchase. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember where. I've got a video on this haul, and if you need to know, you can always go back and watch the Las Vegas Mob haul video that I have. This one sold for $68. I don't remember where this came from. It hasn't been in inventory too long. $68 for a little advertisement that has some rips in it. I thought that was a good price. I went back in after I got an offer on this to decide whether I should take it or not. It's hard to tell sometimes, so I always research the item. I'll check the price when it came in. And for $68, I think this puts this at the highest price perfume for Miss Mary Garden out there on eBay. So, I can't complain. It's an interesting piece in my book. It's something I haven't run into. She's well known. If you don't know the name, look her up. She's an actress, obviously. Actress of the day, silent film era. She had been around, I think, at that point for 10 years or something like that. She had a huge following, and just like today, they're marketing perfumes and scents and makeup and stuff like that using someone famous's name.
Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.